Hello and welcome back for round 11, the classic Spa-Francorchamps circuit in Belgium. And we're here in Q3 for the qualifying lap. I only did one lap right near the end of the session, as I sometimes do. Decent exit out of the hairpin. And on my way to Eau Rouge, probably the most famous corner on the F1 calendar.
30 seconds left in the session.
There you go, DRS open, highest top speed. Now I didn't go for full on top speed, more for race pace with this setup. So the AI tends to be quicker, they are by 4/10 actually, but this is the section where my car is stronger. So we go into lift, hold it in second. Keep it in third, and on my way down the hill slightly onto Poumon, I think it's called. I have to shift down to fifth. If it was sunny, I could ram it down in sixth in that corner, but it was cloudy. It's Belgium. There's rain projected for the race. About, I think, 70% chance or something like that. Use all my remaining curse on this final straight. And this is the easy part, just take the shortest path possible. I'm not losing any sort of speed anywhere. Braking hard just before the 100-meter sign, into first, into boss stop, right and left over the curbs. And then the shortest line possible to the finish line. And what time do I set? Only 6 with a 1:48.453. Only a couple of tenths faster than my teammate. Sebastian Vettel gets pole position with a 1:47.847. So I am 6 tenths slower in qualifying than Sebastian Vettel. That's quite a margin. Nico Rosberg is second. Lewis Hamilton is third. Then Fernando fourth. Mark Webber fifth. Felipe is in eighth. Nico Hülkenberg is in ninth. And Jensen Button is in 10th. And like I said, I'm only 2 tenths quicker than Kimi for this race. So I kind of saw this coming. I'm always slow here for some reason. I just can't maximize my way on this track at all. Of course, the animation is disappointed because, you know, my target is like 3rd place or something, and I didn't get anywhere near that. So you get this obligatory, like, dude, this is the best I could do, pretty much. And then the guy says, yeah, I know, you're terrible here. So there you go. It's raining quite heavily. I have to start on full wet weather tires. So quickly browse through the qualifying times. I was not so fast in Q1 and Q2, and even slower in Q3 by comparison. So yeah, not too happy. 69% chance of rain, well, pretty much 100. There you go, there you see your top 10 again. And the first man on number 11 is Sergio Perez, the other McLaren driver, behind his teammate Jensen. Then it's Paul Di Resta in 12th, Adrian Sutil in 13th, Gutierrez in 14th, Ricciardo 15th, Maldonado for winning in 16th, Bottas his teammate behind him, then Verne in 19th, Charles Pic, Caterham, Marussia, Caterham, and then Marussia. So there you go, gave myself a bit more wing to get a better, slightly better turn in. For the rest, I can't really change my setup, going with a lighter car as possible, so -1 lap should do enough. And here starts the race, and the slight hope that I will be able to get some bit of points at the end of the race. If I get away with anything, that would be nice. If I crash out, you know, it's not too much of a harmful. I am for quite a margin, and I can, well, lose a race and still have like 30-ish points ahead. I think it was like 58 points ahead or something of the next guy in the current championship standings.
So try your best to make up a few places in the race.
So immediately going to lean mix, only on -1 lap. Spin. Terribly off the line, but everybody behind me as well. Terrible off the line. Then I sneak in nicely between
Okay, the race started.
the Red Bull of Webber and the Ferrari of Alonso. And I'm up into 5th. Webber is still next to me though, but I have the inside line into a rouge, so he might back off. He does back off. Hamilton goes wide off the track. I have to evade him quickly. That was very, very close. And then Rosberg and Vettel dish it out on the straight. I can carry a lot more speed out of the corner. And I might actually be able to, well, at least get Rosberg there. Almost hit Sebastian. Take him on the inside. Room for him just enough. And almost lose the car, but I suddenly end up just out of the first sector into first place. So down the hill we go. Very, very poor grip on entry. Taking it easy with a heavy car. To be honest, when I think the F1 2014 cars, I think a rouge would be a lot more exciting to watch with the significant amount of downforce that they don't have anymore, or a reduction in downforce. We could have said down the back straight. The thing is, being in front gives me the best view. What's going on ahead of me? No spray of the other car, because the track becomes very, very hard to navigate. Go a bit wide on exit. Not too bad. And open the race. So already a little twitch on the entry there. And already announcement that the weather's gonna, or the run of rain's gonna be reduced, so you probably see me selecting Inters quite soon. Yep, there we go already. There's enough grip in these wet weather tyres to just go flat out through a rouge. And going to the left, right. Right, left, right into sector 2. Set it to lean mix for the mid sector because I do need to save some fuel. Only a little. The game never really gives me a significant amount of a head start when it comes to the amount of laps it takes out of it. So it seems a bit strange. Down the 4th, get a decent turn in. Still have to wait quite a bit. They're a lot quicker than me, but I seem to have a decent acceleration and top speed. There's a decent amount of grip through these corners for me as well. Take it easy. Brake a bit earlier than you would normally do. Even earlier since it's raining. And I go to standard mix onto the straights. Some added top speed. And soon we'll be hitting lap 3 already. Go a bit wide. Got the inside corner, gets very messy there. Vettel bangs against Rosberg. Does somehow get better traction and currently holds onto the position. Can he outbrake? Yes, Rosberg has already yielded. Slotted into 3rd place. So we're now at the end of lap number 3. I managed to pull a small gap over Sebastian Vettel, and accompany that with a fastest lap so far. 1 second. It's only just a gap, and the rear wants to step out again under braking.
That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep that up.
onto the straight again. Let's zip ahead at the end of lap 4 now. Go a bit wide again. Just maybe basically decided the car into the corner, but I have to take the second one significantly slower. Again, the rear wants to step out. 3 times in a row.
Alonso's the fastest
Alonso.
on the track at the moment.
Half a second quicker than my current best lap. Just enough grip. So on to lap 5 now. Catch too much curb. The car of course steps out. Vettel right on me again, and alongside Lewis Hamilton now, who's moved up a place, or a couple of places. Lap 6. It's gonna be very short bits. Still in first. Lean again, and I miss my braking point by a mile. Cut it. Doesn't really give me any advantage since Vettel is out right on me. More sliding. And I return onto the track. Down the first. More sliding. I even just slightly tap the throttle.
Watch out for debris.
Someone's had a moment there in sector 3.
It looks like the rain
It's already
might
green
heat up
again.
a little in the next 5 minutes.
So there you go, lap 6, only 5 minutes left until the rain starts to decrease. And I tested this setup on Intis, and it was very grippy, very quick. Or at least it felt right, maybe not super quick, I don't know. It worked. So hopefully I have a better chance on pulling a gap towards these guys, or at least be a bit more competitive speed-wise. Rain start to decrease. So 5 more minutes is about 2-3 laps. 3 laps really. When you want about to come in. So lap 8. Looking early. Hamilton now in second place. Takes a good look. Can't make it stick. Vettel probably made an attempt somewhere and totaled himself up. Alonso did something similar later on in the race. I'm not sure I managed to find that again. Could barely see it anyway. Go very wide. Hit Hamilton on my way onto the track. And Alonso slips by Lewis to second place. Lap 10 now.
Kimmy's putting in some really quick times. He's
Just
the
about
fastest
getting
man
there.
on the track at the moment.
And he's getting some luck quicker now. 2 seconds quicker there on my fastest lap. And I'm sorry, as you can see, I haven't been able to get any quicker at all. So everybody behind me is seriously is being held up. Hamilton just made it in second again, so we missed the point where Alonso just almost totaled himself. I hit my back and lost a few places again. Vettel made it up to third place again. I dropped back, but not too far. So, end of lap 10. And I think this is the moment where I felt like, alright, yeah, everything's getting harder. Let's take a bit of an early gamble, but I figured the sky was getting a lot lighter, the rain was letting up a bit. Let's make the gamble. From testing, I did have some confidence that these tires would work for me.
There's some traffic at the pit exit. Watch out as you rejoin the track.
Alright, so onto the lap again.
By our calculations, Massa
There's some
should be
wheel
stopping
spin on
the
acceleration.
within the next 5 laps. Massa into the pits in the
And
next
the
5
rears are
laps.
already starting to cool off, as you can see. Fronts are fine, so I can
Fuel management has
slide
been
through a
excellent
rouge
this race.
quite
Great job.
easily. Set it to standard, I think.
Track conditions are really bad. Pit in and fit the wet compound if you need it.
Corner felt alright, not quicker or slower than on the wets. The full wets. There's some aquaplaning going on the slowest corner of the tracks. And then accelerations is even worse. because the inters are not keeping any kind of temperature at all, which not a problem I had when I was testing around in other game modes. Time trial usually for the base setup, and then sometimes I do a little career or just a Grand Prix to test heavy weather and everything. So I could barely keep it on, lose the car.
We think the car behind is running on
Use the
full
car
rev,
again on
so you're trying to
acceleration,
close the
hit
gap.
Massa, and that of course gives me a rightful penalty.
You've been given a drive-through penalty for unsportsmanlike behaviour. Stay focused and box in the next 3 laps.
So far the early pit stop not working for me. Now I got Bottas behind me and I've dropped out top 10, and I will drop back even further after serving my penalty, no doubt. See, turn-in is fine, no issues there. Bang the wall a little bit on entry, not enough to give me any kind of damage, and I'm in the run of shame through the pit box because of my contact with the Ferrari driver.
Watch out for traffic as you rejoin the track.
No, I didn't really lose any positions except the one to Bottas, so only 12 when I get out.
Seconds.
So it could have been worse. So a little bit later on then, Bottas, not the car ahead of me. I think it's a back marker in Marussia. Yes, it is Bianchi, and I almost hit him on the braking.
There are quite a few cars in the pits right now. Watch out for cars exiting the pits.
Everybody's pitting now, so this is the point where everybody else starts getting on inters. So you'd figure my tyres will start to come into play now. There you go, there comes Perez out of the pit lane.
Positions below where we thought we'd finish.
And he's definitely, I think he's on green tyres
Great move.
by the looks of it, so everybody's on inters, so as you can see I sped past him quite easily. Oh, there you go, struggling again. And as I tried to straighten out the car, I hit Perez and then go wide in the end. No grip at all in this corner. The crowd is probably so that I'm sucking so much ass. And here I am, the game all taps itself for me. So as I go off track, which is not nice to do. So here I am, trying to get the full duplicate, full screen. There we go. And there comes Bottas. After he hits pit stop.
You need to get moving.
So my tyres
Places
are still
behind
terrible.
your predicted finishing position.
And they just not seem to be heating up to give me the grip that I so desperately need to get this car on track. Even here, slipping and sliding. Fronts are doing alright, but the rear is just making it almost impossible to drive. And I'm just losing incredible amounts of time. This just doesn't seem to get any better. Braking, oddly enough, is fine. These corners, oddly enough, are fine.
Okay, it looks like the car ahead is trying to create a gap.
Minor
Running
wheel
full
spin in
rev.
first gear on the exit of that bus stop, but that's not too bad. Generally speaking, turn in here is fine. Bit of issues in the power down here, so let's skipping ahead now to lap 14 through Pullman. Car won't stop. I go straight ahead. Have to go over the grass. Meanwhile, Bottas is just extending his lead over me. Go wide again. This car just sometimes just starts losing everything. It's the strangest thing ever. 5 seconds now, the gap to Bottas and Raikkonen sets at 1:58. So my best lap is still at one I did on the full wet weather tyres. 2:03.075, and I can't seem to beat even that on these inters. So the car is terrible. It is not working for me. And there doesn't seem to be any kind of hope whatsoever. And if the weather stays like this even longer, it's basically a lost cause. To go so slow. Even with the minus and throttle input, the backhand still steps out.
Conservation mode. His times will be slightly slower than normal.
So, lap 16. Finally, the first time I improved my wet weather time with a 2:02.6 for once. So only like 4/10 quicker than my quickest lap on the but these other guys are just going ridiculously amounts of faster than me. I mean, by the seconds, they're quicker than me. Those guys at the top. And eventually, you can also see in the dots that Bottas is even further ahead of me. Ricciardo doesn't seem to be going that much faster than me. But I'm actually driving around with a hopeless car. In 11th place. The rest of Jace takes the position of Ricciardo, 6.9 seconds, 7.5, so even Bottas gained a few seconds on me in that one lap or something. There you go, so basically the tyres are just not heating up, not getting into gear, and then it's just comes a terrible drive. The wet weather tyres did not have the problem. They were staying nicely in temperature. It was still, of course, quite slippery. But even though, you know, I pitted early, that of course cooled the tyres off, they were not even remotely just trying to slot in there. I'm a second quicker than my own lap, but Bottas still catches about a second and a half, maybe even more over me. So there's really nothing for me to gain here. I'm just losing too much. There's no indication that the weather's gonna be improved. I go wide again. There you go. There's more confirmation on how slow I am compared to everybody else. 1:56 for Raikkonen. And at this point, I give up. I go into the pit lane, just bring it out normally, and I retire myself from the session. There was no point for me to continue any longer in this race. There was nothing for me to gain at all. The car was just not working in these conditions for me. So, didn't bang in the wall, I just had a very poorly working car. So I went for a DNF. So Lewis Hamilton wins the race, Fernando second, Sebastian Vettel third to all my championship titles, Jenson Button surprising fourth, Kimi made it into sixth, Ricciardo got himself a point for Toro Rosso, he's in 10th place. Those are really the more outstanding results. Felipe, yes, went out of that race in 11th because, well, mostly my fault. Bottas ended up in only 14th. So there you go, and it's still raining at the end of it, so it wouldn't have mattered at all. And Guido is the best of the backmarkers in 18th, and there I am at the bottom with a DNF behind my name. There you go, I'm still in the lead of the championship. Lewis Hamilton is now second with a 33-point deficit, so I still have another 0 points result, which I quote-unquote can handle. Of course, I'd rather not. Monza is next. Also a very, very tricky track. And Sebastian and Alonso both have 150 points. Mark Webber has now broken the barrier as well with 106, and Kimi is now in solid 6th place as well still. And here's everybody else. Daniel Ricciardo still has less points than Maldonado, so kind of sad for him there. and all but the two black market teams have points, and Lotus is still in the lead of the constructors, but only now by just 14 points. So not a good day at all for myself on this track. Testing showed some promise with the setup, but in the end career mode had different ideas on how well it would work or not. So see you guys next time for hopefully better tidings on, I believe it's Monza. See ya.